Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 83rd day of continuous and uninterrupted webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. As you all know that we are about to reach our 1,000th day within 17 days from now. So this is a milestone in the history of homeopathy, and definitely we will have excellent presentations coming in these days. As you all know that there are different sectors we are conducting sessions, and let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you. This is the 983rd day of our session. And as you know, today we have a guest in Dr.Sadaf Uldf. And she is one of the best person to talk about homeopathy for. And she has been talking about homeopathy in our session regularly for some 5 to 7 times. And this is one of the best presentations. She is one of our best presenter in this forum also. And she has completed BHMS, then she has a fellowship in psychiatry, and she is the director of Healthcare Foundation and Binary Integration Teaching Faculty at the Athersong Mumbai. As you know, that Athersong is the school of conducted by Dr. Shankarins, and this is something really giving a lot of things for homeopathy. And she has 14 years of experience. That means that she's also having a lot of cases with her. We have seen wonderful cases from her case sheet. So in the last presentations here, and today she will be sharing some of my clinical experience. That means she is about to present some of her clinical cases. So let us begin the session, and let me invite Dr. Sadaf Uldf to this session. Welcome. We welcome Dr. Welcome. Yes, now you are a co-host, so you can begin.
Yeah. Good evening. Thank you. So, without wasting much of the time, let me begin with my presentation. And just give me 1 minute. Let me share the screen. Okay. So, coming to today's topic, sharing some clinical experience, and this was something that Dr. Danesh gave an idea, and it was his idea that I should share some clinical experience. And I really liked it because the clinical experience is also about speaking about your journey into the practice of homeopathy and what are the lessons you have learned and unlearned. And this topic is very close to my heart because I feel that through this topic, the senior practitioners over here may have more beautiful journey than mine, but the junior practitioners or the students and interns can really benefit when they understand what is the learning curve that they have to go through. Okay, especially when in today's world, especially in India, where we have so many systems and so many different style of practice in homeopathy. Okay, for students, I feel this topic is very important because I have gone through a journey, and I'm sure the students are going through their own journey. As soon as they pass out the college, there's a lot of noise of lot of terms and terminologies, etc., etc. And there is a lot of confusion and lot of confusion and lot of disappointments and lot of different things, emotion that goes on in the background for the students. And hence I feel this topic for a beginner or for some student can be inspiring, and even for it can also be an eye-opener for some senior, because when we practice we often forget some things, and this can be a good way to understand what's happening. So how do you find clarity? We live in these two polarities of life. So in Gestalt we say that there is a polarity that we shift from, right? From confusion we So at one point where you are confused, there is also a clarity. And in a given time, we travel both this state of confusion and clarity, and we have to come to some equilibrium. So how do we get that? The point of confusion is, number one, there are a lot of heavy terminologies that are used by a lot of different schools of understanding. And they make it sound that they don't belong to homeopathy, they don't belong to organon, they don't belong to materia medica. One method is alienated to another. Different terms and terminologies are introduced to the students, which makes them feel that they are incompetent, or homeopathy is not my cup of tea. So there is very data about scope, about limitations, about a lot of things. And every doctor or every senior has or everyone who's teaching them has a differential approach. So the point of confusion comes here. How do we navigate this confusion? How do we get out of this confusion? So I felt what really helped me to get out of this confusion, and which still helps me to get out of this confusion, is guidance and practice, mentorship. I wouldn't have been what I am today because of my mentors, and the books. I remember once I was traveling with Dr. Sunil Sarkar, and he had his Allen's keynote with him. And I said, "Sir, what are you do? Sir, are you going to read in the train?" You know what he said? "Sadaf, can you survive without water?" I said, "No, sir." So how can a homeopath survive without a materia medica book? So whether you're going to read it, you don't know what is going to come in the journey, but always carry your materia medica book. And whenever you have a time, at least read one line of it. If not one whole book, at least read one line. And you never know. And maximum learning that will happen to you is when you are closely attached to the book. Very recently, I had joined one program. The program was related to certain kind of learning, which is not related to homeopathy. And in that program, I was taught that you have to tune up your body. You have to clear your neuro-linguistic patterns before you sit to learn anything new. You have to have an attitude or posture of dignity when you sit for a lecture or when you sit to learn something new. Open up yourself, open up your heart chakra so that you can receive the knowledge, because knowledge in any form is a provision that's given by Almighty. So you receive it with a lot of open heart. So always have a good posture. And it spoke to me about how it was like a connecting of dots of what I was taught in homeopathy, psychology, and everything. So mentorship, yes, mentors, finding a good mentor, books, and a forever attitude of learning. How do I receive what I'm going to get is very important. And when I look back today, I give gratitude to all my mentors in my life, right? From the mentors who are from hospitals, allopathic mentors, homeopathic mentors, even a simplest teacher who taught me a simple thing. They shaped up and they helped me be and navigate my life. So, another most important teacher is experience, being patient, our own patience and failure. Okay. So, I think there are no better teachers than them. So, every time, so learning is always a curve. First, you learn, that is your college. Then you need to train yourself. Okay, you have to, like how you train yourself for a marathon run. Every day you need to move a little bit of your muscle, strengthen a little bit of muscle, work on your strength, then on your endurance, and then you go and you run. So similarly, training, then you need a mentor, you need practice, and that's where the success comes. During this training period, during this instruction, during this practical training, there are a lot of failure. But learning is transforming you. You know you are successful not by how much vitamin M you have in your bank account, but you understand how much you have learned in the way you transform physically, transform mentally, transform spiritually. So failure is mother of success. So tonight what I plan to do is, I'm not going to share with you my success stories, but I'm going to share with you my story of failures, the cases that I failed. And I know the time is, I have a limited time, so maybe I'll get to do one case. But I think what I learned from my failed cases and how did I deal with it, I think that will help you to get a better understanding. So today it's a story of how you transform with your failure. So I go back to the year 2011 when I was a resident doctor at Other Song, and a case that came to us. Then that time when I started with Another Song, we were a group of 3 doctors who used to work with one patient. We had a team assigned to one patient. And in this team was myself, Dr. Manish, and Dr. Sujit Chatterjee. And we had this girl, a very, 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 very pretty girl, small, little, cute girl, but she had this condition called as idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura. Her platelet counts will go as low as 2000. Okay. Now you can imagine what difficulty it can create if somebody's platelet count is that low. She was on heavy steroids. She was on IVIGs. A lot of treatment was taken. She had taken Ayurveda. She had taken a lot of treatment, and it was a failure. And the mother's hope was, let's try homeopathy, or else she was going to be always on this kind of treatment. Sometimes she needed platelet transfusion too. She will go so low. Now, this case we took for a long period. It was like a case of 2 to 3 hours. But I'll just give you a summary of what we saw or what was there in the case. So this child, when she came, like she was 4 years, but she had a very different charm when she was sitting in front of us, like she was very gracefully dressed. Her pink, I still vividly remember, her pink color dress had a matching pink color purse and a matching pink color bow and a matching pink color sandal with a pink color handkerchief in her hand. So when she entered the child, when the child entered, she entered with a mother, and she was very conscious about herself, and she was constantly hiding behind the mother. And I saw the discomfort of the child, and even otherwise, this child was so pretty and so cute. Looking at her, I instantly passed the comment, oh my God, she's so cute. What a beautiful dress you're wearing. It's so nice. And she immediately brightened up and lightened up, and she started coming out. And she started with she took a very different posture. She took a very different attitude in the clinic. And then we had a lot of crayons and coloring stuffs in our clinic. So I offered her a paper and I offered her the crayons. Mother describes this child that she is 4 years and they had a very newborn kid. But mother says she will take care of this kid as if she's a mother. She was very understanding. When she will go out for shopping, she knew exactly what she wanted to wear. If a mother will buy some cloth, she will not wear. She's like, no, mama, this is not my choice. Why are you forcing on me? So what we observed that she was a very precocious child. And while everything was going on, I was like completely focused on the child, although I was writing the notes, but somehow this girl was so pretty, so beautiful. My focus was just on her. And what I saw was very interesting. She was making very beautiful drawings. Okay. She was making like a bird, she was making butterfly, she was making scenery. And every drawing she will finish up, she will go to her mother and she will keep standing over there till her mother will appreciate, or from somewhere, if I will see the picture and I will say, wow, what a beautiful picture this is. And then she will lighten up again and she will make more drawings. She made several drawings in that particular day. Now, this is a mistake that every homeopath does, is jumping onto the remedy. So I don't want anybody to write about the remedy, because remedy is simple, okay? But it's important you understand what journey we went through in this case, okay? So she wanted to draw. She had this artistic ability, and she would feel very happy when her mother will appreciate. She was in general very shy, very timid, but as soon as she will be appreciated, or as soon as somebody will say something, she'll really get lightened up. Appearance, okay, dressing up really meant a lot for her. So we observed that this child, and as she got comfortable, we also have a small play area in the clinic. She was jumping in that play area. She became active, and every stunt or everything she will do in that play area, she will look up to us for a little bit of, smile, happiness, or just giving her a gesture that she's looking very cute or something like that. This made her feel very happy. On clinical examination, there was a lot of pallor, and mother confirmed that her hemoglobin will go very, very low. She was very independent throughout the interview. When parents were talking to us, mother said she is exactly like her father. Her father likes gadgets, and so does she likes gadgets. Very sensitive about uncleanliness. If you go, like she says, we go out a lot, we go for travels, we go this and there, and every time we go out, it's a big problem for us because she cannot tolerate unclean toilets. Her father, she said, loves gadgets and likes spending time on internet, and he's also very conscious about his body. And he has this a proper, like a physique, one who goes to, he maintains his physique, and he's a very inquisitive person. So we did some inquiry with the father. So what do we do in child's cases mostly is, we not only take the history of the child, but we also take history of mother during pregnancy and in general about father, because when kids are small, they have this inherited traits of mother and father, and sometimes there is something in the mother's history in the pregnancy that's actually the cause of the illness, especially with illnesses like ADHD, autism, okay, and learning disability, and any congenital anomaly like eczema, childhood asthma. In these times, I feel the mother's history during pregnancy, during case, becomes very important. So when we started speaking to the father, he says, I'm very sensitive, especially about people who are stabbing me in the back. So he also gave a life space situation where he's into this job and he's working very, very hard, and every day he's being given all the tasks by his boss which he doesn't like, and yet he does it, and yet he's not appreciated, and the boss does not allow him to progress. He feels stuck, he feels obstructed by his boss, but he cannot do much because there's a lot that happens on the salary that he receives. So this, I said, what is the main feeling? So he says the main feeling in that job is that I'm not appreciated at all. Some more observation about the child. She will get, so where other song clinic is, we get a very good view of Mumbai airport's air flights landing, and so it's the arena where the runway is. Okay, so most of the flight, when they are about to land or they have taken a takeoff, they take this route of where other song clinic is. So we have a continuous airplane that passes very frequently from our clinic, and this child was continuously peeping out of the window every time a plane would pass. Then after some time, she was very physically restless. So after some time, she will go to a weighing machine and she'll stand on the weighing machine. She will touch the machine. She will touch the camera. She will touch the curtain. She was very inquisitive and she will pick up things. Like, so when we were recording her case, she will come and she will touch the camera and check what is happening. She'll check the wires. So a lot of things was happening. She will come and check my laptop, um, my colleague's laptop, and she was currently doing that. And very often we saw that she was mimicking things around. Okay. When we did just to, play with the child or just to have more interaction with the child, we made some funny drawing. And then, like, normally kids will say, yes, uncle, nice, uncle. She was very strong. She said, oh, this is not a drawing. On the face, she gave a very strong opinion that this is not a right drawing, you know. So she will touch things. What we saw is she will get inquisitive about things. She will want to go and touch things how they are. So we have a writing desk. She will go open the writing desk, check, open up the book. So she enjoyed doing that. She loved chocolate, cold drinks, and juices. Okay. So we took the following rubrics in consideration: generalities, uncleanliness, aggravates. Okay, there was one more thing that I forgot to mention, that her ITP. So I always say in the cases, I go back to find the causative factor of the disease. And in her case, before her ITP was diagnosed, she was getting a recurrent fevers. Okay. And that fever will not go off, and her so once, because the fever were recurrent, the GP asked them to go for a test, and that's how the ITP got diagnosed. And every time the fever will come, she will be all blue and she will have a lot of green patches all over her body. So we took the following rubrics. Okay, precocity, monomania, touch impulse to, does not know whether object seems real or really there or not until she touches them. So we took a lot of rubrics. Okay, we had few remedies in RDD, but at that moment we saw this thing. We wanted a remedy which also matches the morbid process of the patient. It says in blood, we needed a remedy which causes rapid decrease of red blood cells, hemoglobin, and tendency to leukocytosis. Longing for appreciation was something which was important. Need to look good and being possessive about things was very important. Mother is conceiving, so she says, Mother, I am only child, and she will hug. She had a little bit of sibling rivalry too before the child was born, and she will hug the mother, and was a very strong personality. So we needed a remedy which will match this, and we gave her China Sulf 200. Okay, the considering the bleeding disorder, considering the father's state, the mother's state, the child's state, this remedy looked very good. We gave Chininum Sulf 200 PD for 2 days, followed by SL. We had a first follow-up where her hemoglobin went up to 12. Her total leukocytic count went up to 16,400, and platelet count went up to 2,10,000. Appetite improves. There were no other changes. We continued the same. In the second follow-up, her platelet count again dropped to 20,000. And she had a episode of fever. She had an injury and she was all over bruised and her hemoglobin went down. Okay. So we were in this cycle where she was getting better and then her condition was deteriorating. Better, then her condition was deteriorating. So what we did, we repeated the remedy quite a lot of time in different potencies. We gave LM potency, we give 30, 200, 1M, 10M. She will improve, she will feel better, her appetite will increase, her hemoglobin will increase, but then it will go down again. So you see in the previous slide, the first follow-up, she was better. Then the second follow-up, she went down. Third follow-up, again, she was better. Fourth follow-up, she was better. Next follow-up, she went down. So we kept on repeating, and she was put on Dapsone alternately by allopaths, okay? Because again, we saw the fever, okay, where the fever will come on certain time. So there was periodicity of her complaints. So the remedy seems good, but this fever will keep coming, going. Then in October, we saw she was maintained on China Self, and then there was a brief time in September, October, where she was not responding to China Self at all in all given potencies and form. The patches were continuously increasing. Parents were getting very restless. Although the general state of this child was better, that her cough and cold was not there, there was no fever, appetite was good, the sick look that she had when she would go down was gone. But the hemorrhagic tendency continued, and she will have this, her hemoglobin dropped to 2000, and steroids and IVIG frequency increase. And her father, so this time again, what happened was very interesting. And father came up, and he, was very angry as to what is happening with the treatment, this, that. And, we were like in our early days of practice, and it was very difficult for us to, it was very frightening also to handle that situation, because he was so worked up that what is happening, why is the hemoglobin platelet counts not getting better. And although the wife was saying, she was trying to convince the father, like, look, there are been good changes, things are happening, but he was getting impatient. And we took a retake of this man, and after the whole complete retake and everything, we understood it as a snake remedy, and we gave Crotalus horridus in 3200 potency. So after Crotalus, she did get better, but again, the same circle. So there was something in the case which was not clearing it completely. She was in this condition which we all homeopaths hate, that is better but condition. You really don't like that condition. So some symptoms will improve, some will not improve. Platelet counts one day will be very good, one day will go very low. And then there will be a brief period where the fever will go away. Okay. And then there will come a period where the attack will get very frequent and even worse. So we gave a lot of remedies in different acutes. So after Crotalus, we gave phosphorus, we gave tuberculinum, we gave tarantula. Nothing seems to work that beautifully. So the question was, now, what do we do? And this felt like after, I'm talking about, we started this case in 2012. Okay, we are in 2013, and we are 2013, almost a year has passed, and we know that idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura is a condition which is not easily resolvable. It's a very deep pathological condition. Okay, we have to we knew deep down that, okay, this condition is chronic, it's destructive tendencies are there, a lot of things is there, she's doing better, we'll have to. But it was difficult, because at this time, although, when people come to homeopathy, they imagine that there should be a miracle, and that it should be like a magic wand, you give a remedy and the disease is gone, without understanding that what we are looking for is a permanent cure. And what they are doing with IVIG or whatever steroids they were giving, they were not only slowing down our situation, but also they were all very temporary, and she will have to go a lifetime of this. So as we were a team, we will sit with our books, and we will read and reread, and we will go and talk to our seniors. And that's where my first point comes on mentoring. It's very important to have a mentor in your life. And that's when I realized, especially when you are in a very early stage of practice. So we did have a lot of clinical discussion. We had a clinical meet where we discussed our failed cases, and we brainstormed the ideas as what we have to do. So as a team, we really put in a lot of hard work during those times. And as we all were like a new practitioner, we were all excited to give best of treatment and get best of result. But again, and that's where I concluded healing is a journey. It's not going to happen like what we see in seminars, one remedy, one dose, and the disease is gone. Not all cases are like that, my dear friends. And that's what I've seen day in and out, working with all the experts. And with all the experts, I mean, right from sensation school, I've seen predictive school, I've seen HHF school, I've seen, I've worked with a lot of at Davle school people. I have worked with Parinaz Umranwala and many teachers. And I see them that they, what we see in the seminars and what we see in the clinic, it's a lot of different. No doubt they are expert, they are the best, and it's ocean of knowledge with them. But what we also have to learn is we forget the process, we forget the journey till they come to this point where everything was clear. As a beginner for me, I was expecting I'll give Chinninam Salt 1 1 dose and she'll be better next day, which doesn't happen in practice. And that was my unlearning, that it's not going to happen just like that. And we really worked very hard. There was a lot of reading involved, a lot of we saw a lot of lectures, and we did, like, once I will do the retake, one Manish will do the retake, and we will just go back and forth with this patient to make sure during her acutes we will be up whole night. Every 5 minutes we are taking her case, every 10 minutes we are monitoring her progress. We will make sure that we could relieve a fever as soon as possible, because if a fever stayed for more than 24 hours, her platelet counts will drop very fast. So it was like we couldn't afford to miss a single call by this patient. And that's how we progressed with this case. So it's, many times, even patients, sometimes even homeopaths, when they consult, they take a remedy and they disappear. And then they tell you, oh, doctor, it was not better. How will it be? Because the healing is not in the first case. Healing is in the regular phase that you come to. Till you are completely convinced that, okay, homeopathy is not going to do anything, you move the patient, or you are completely convinced to a remedy which homeopathy can help you. So there are different layers. And this time we went and we read a lot of Burnett's material, Burnett's philosophy and Grimmer's philosophy. And what we found interesting was Burnett did something very unique and very nice. And he had this layers of remedies that he suggested to be given. The first layer will be the constitutional layer, the miasmatic layer, the layer which will clean the soil of the patient, the causative factor. So these were some steps he will do. And he said that you need, when you are treating, if you're treating a simple psychosomatic disease, fine. Okay. If you're dealing with an acute, one dose, one remedy, fine. But when you're looking at a condition like cancer, like deep pathological condition with structural changes, you need a remedy that will address the miasm. You need a remedy which will address the pathophysiology. A lot of things are needed to be considered. So we went back to our case and we saw that there is a recurrence of the condition. And that's when we thought that we need to give an anti-miasmatic remedy, looking at the recurrence, the restlessness, and we gave tuberculum. As you know, in past, we have already given her tarantula, phosphorus, crotalin. So we knew there was a tubercular picture in background. So we gave tuberculinum, which relieved to a lot extent all her fevers will go off very quickly, but platelet counts was no improvement. And this was again a big discouragement. What were we missing? What is happening? What were we doing wrong? So we went back again with the course and we tried to understand what was happening. She had every time she had the first time that she has ITP, it started after fever. And every time her platelets will drop, it started after fever. Or if we were not able to successfully manage the fever. So what will happen? If the fever will go more than 102, 101, 103, mother will very often to get down with the fear that if the fever is consistently high, temperature is consistently high, her platelets will drop, she will give crocin or paracetamol or whatever, a remedy to bring down the fever. Now, this was brought to our attention by Dr. Sarkar that you all are missing on this point. So you are missing on the obstruction to cure. You are missing on a obstacle to your cure and the causative factor of the disease of the cure. And then we went back to boric materia medica and we studied which remedy could cover this. And we found the remedy natrum salicylate. We gave natrum salicylate 30 once a day for 15 days. Follow-up. Her energy increased. Her patches came, but it went down very fast. The frequency of cold and cough reduced. We gave her SL. She was better, and we knew we need to give something to maintain. And now in this second follow-up, we saw that she was the same artistic aptitude, a lot of friends she was making, love of drawing and craft. And now, after giving natrum salicylate, she had become very, very active. She now went and she started making friends very fast. She had a group, she had a lot of people around, and she became very vocal. She became a party animal, from being somebody who was weak, tired all the time with the disease. And because of a fever, there will be a lot of leave of absence. Now that was gone. So this time we thought we'll give phosphorus in plusing potency. Better. No fever for 2 months. No bleeding, no blue patches. Even on injury, the patch will be very little. We gave her SL. No fever, no cold cough, no bleeding, no blue patches. Platelet count steadily increasing, SL. Better. No fever, no bleeding, no cold cough, nothing. No need for IVIG for more than 6 months. Platelets are now within normal limits. And just this year, this girl, and then we stopped her treatment and we told her that just come whenever it is required. Otherwise, you don't need to. This year, mother celebrated her 15th birthday, 15th or 16th birthday, and she DM'd me on my Instagram about, her photo where she was dancing, she was partying, she's enjoying her life and celebrating her 16th birthday. She's now turned into a nice, tall, beautiful teenager. And it was such a pleasure to see that, because a person whom they were not sure of what's going to happen with her and how things are going to form for her, she was absolutely better. So what my learning was, before I end my session, I know my time is running out, Dr. Danesh, but before I end my session, I would like to say one thing. What I learned from this case, there were 2-3 interesting things, okay? Number one was, in our case taking, sometimes we get lost too much into the mind symptoms. Number two, what I learned was, there are certain cases, one dose, one remedy is going to do miracle, but there are some cases where you will have to, in every follow-up, rethink the remedy that you have given. There is a role of understanding of the miasm, because that's what Hahnemann said, tolle causum, tolle effectus. If you don't remove the cause, you're not going to remove the effect. And understanding not only the physical characteristic, but also what happens during the treatment. If a patient is saying fever, what has the patient done with the fever? Has there been any suppression? Are we really going to address it? Okay, we need to understand the range of action of the remedy, the stop and step action of the remedy, when to give, when not to give the remedy. And with this, I feel, after this case, the whole road that I want to find one best remedy in one session of the case taking was off me. And I knew that, in homeopathy, there is a vast thing that we have to study, understand, not only about the remedy, but also about the patient. So with this note, I would like to on for listening to me patiently and
Yes.
giving me an opportunity to share. So I keep myself open now for any questions or anything that anybody would like to ask.
Is really a wonderful case from you, Dr. Sadaf Uldf. Frankly speaking, this is usually happens with those people who come up from the college and going to the case taking, and then due to some kind of mistake, they may get up with some remedies which are rare remedies. But frankly, from the very outlook, what I felt was that it was a remedy of phosphorus, and if I was the person to prescribe the case, I may directly go for phosphorus from the very beginning, because that hemorrhagic diathesis is one of the commonest thing that one of the thing that we have to do. It has a syphilitic origin also. It was a destructive nature. Whenever she take this fever, and thereafter this is coming down, then it is after some medication, this is going up, then coming down, then going up, and this is what happens when usually we have to begin a case. According to me, am I right or not? It's not the question. Is a question
Before
mark.
this,
I would like to add that if this is the thing that may happen, but usually we used to say that it is better to begin with a constitutional remedy or a polycrust remedy, then you can go for this kind of prescription if necessary or if needed. So this is what I have observed in this case. Anyway, you were just like trying this and that in between, and there you find also a little bit of difficult, but later you pick up the momentum in the right way, and you because you were having three people sitting together, and you are trying to imitate Dr. Shankar. That is the reason, because people believe that almost Dr. Shankar's cases are with treating with the rare remedies, and not with the constitutional or this polycrust remedy. That may be the reason why you may be going in that direction. Anyway, at last you reach the right remedy and win the case with beautiful.
Dr. Danish, just to add, there was no sensation prescription over here. The China self was also selected on basis of hemorrhagic diathesis and everything. And also phosphorus was given before and it had not acted. What really helped the patient was natrum salicyclum. And then when we followed it up with phosphorus again, the whole paroxysm end. So anti-miasmatic remedy. So China self did a good job for this patient. But then there was a status quo where you were not moving in the case. That's when we started experimenting with different remedies. And we gave phosphorus for a long time in a lot of her paroxysm, but she will not get better. What key for us was giving natrum salicyclum from borax material. And throughout this, we didn't, very rarely we used sensation method. The whole indication that changed, and that was an idea which was planted in our head by Dr. Sarkar, saying that you are missing the soil of the patient.
Yes,
and we went to the crocin. That crocin was creating the paracetamol, which we use so oftenly in a where people use so often, like little during COVID, we have seen it's like chane ki tarah people are taking paracetamol, and it could have such a big devastating effect. And when we gave natrum salicyclum, her condition improved, and then the phosphorus indication came up again, and we gave phosphorus again, and that completely stopped the case.
Exactly, that may be the reason why in most of the dengue cases, people used to treat with allopathy, and then suddenly the platelets count comes down drastically. And when they come to our clinic, we used to stop those medicines, and then we started our medicine that we will be getting results in a short time. Of course, your answers is perfect, and I'm very happy to have such answers here. And Dr. Manoj is about ready to interact with you. And before that, I think you are about to begin a session in some way. You can also say something about that here if you want to speak.
So, Dr. Smith, are you here around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you can.
So Dr. Smita can put light onto this workshop that we are coming up. So
Now you can say
so
something.
not around, I will just speak about it. So we are coming up with a workshop, and this workshop is especially for students and interns, so that, like you said just now, that there is a lot of confusion with, and like I said, with a lot of rare remedies and a lot of things happening in the background. Most of the time, students and interns are at a loss. As a clinician, okay, you, me, others understand what is happening, but for students this navigation becomes difficult, and we are coming up with this workshop where we are making them understand that there are minute to the case taking, there is more to the case taking than just taking mind symptom. Okay, so we are coming up with this workshop on specifically on different ways to enter a case via, the tools, different tools they can use in case taking. The details of the workshop is with Dr. Smita. We can forward it to Dr. Danesh, and if she is around, maybe she can unmute herself and she can give the dates and the cost of the workshop. But it's going to be a 4-day workshop where we are going to work. We are not only just going to show cases, but we are going to make students work with the case, you know give them exercises so that they start taking the case. Many times while I'm working with other songs, students write back to me, doctor, I don't know how to take this case. Doctor, I have a case of renal calculus, please tell me a shortcut remedy. No, I can't take that. I said, renal calculus, how do I prescribe? That's not how you prescribe in homeopathy. Give me that some people. No, doctor, she's my auntie, how do I take a case? Oh, no, doctor, this patient does not want to talk. But there is still a case. The rule is, you do whatever. I tell my students, friends, everyone, you do whatever. You do HHF, you do Vijayakar, you do keynotes, you do Calcutta method, Bombay method, Hamka method, any method you do. But always remember, the rule, the principle of homeopathy is similia similibus curanter. Don't let go of law of individualization. And that's not possible if you're not taking a case. So this whole workshop is meant to train the students and interns for the same thing. And anybody who feels that they really want to learn case taking as an art can be a part of it. Sorry,
Okay.
Dr.
Okay.
Sometime.
On which date it is about to commence?
It's going to commence in June. Dr. Smith has the exact date. Okay.
Okay, definitely we will share that in our platform, so if anybody interested can join there. And now it is up to Dr. Manoj for his interaction.
Yes, it is always very difficult to become a good listener. That is the most important thing the homeopathy physician must follow. And of course, any man has said the selection of a remedy is just like it is not at all easy task. You will not fly in their mouth like roasted pigeons. That's the most important thing. And he remembers us what is the reward, the consciousness that the discharge his duty faithfully. Now, 449, so long footnote is there, but we haven't studied properly in our degree courses. That's the problem. Then again, what is more important is we must remember, we must understand that there are no surrogation because it is homeopathy. How can you say when you have learned about homeopathy, this remedy can be given or that medicine can be given? No, that medicine can be given, of course, but the remedy can't be given.
Yeah.
There is a big difference. So don't take that it is an equal term or the synonymous terms. The medicine, drug, remedy, at least we should discriminate. Anyway, nice presentation. And of course, we know that the most important thing under the sun is reflection or thinking is the most difficult task. As said by Handyman, nice presentation. Congratulations, Dr. Sadaf. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now it is time for Dr.
Nice.
Yes, you want to say something?
Yeah. Dr. Manoj gave a very nice example that, remedy is one thing and medicine. So if you just think of hemorrhage, and if you just think of ITP, we have lacasis, we have crotalis, we have phosphorus, we have China, we have so many remedies in materia medica.
So
but
many medicines. I beg your
Yes.
pardon. So many medicines, not remedies.
so many medicines. Carica papaya mother tincture for increasing platelet count, X-ray 30. There are many medicines. But is that medicine similar to the patient and it's going to create a change is what is very important. It's a nice statement and it's nice learning, doctor.
Now it is Dr. Hariharan sir. He is one of the senior most person in this platform, and now welcome, sir.
Doctor, your presentation is very nice, and all the beginners should hear and follow this your expressions. No doubt in that. But I don't think that, see, phosphorus is the first medicine will come to this thrombocytopenia. I don't think. So you already said that you gave the phosphorus and it didn't work well. Very correct. Very correct. Because in my experience also, I will say one thing, that this paracetamol subject is the best villain. See, paracetamol is the obstruction to cure to our patient.
Yes, yes, yes.
In my practice, I feel so. So I am very particular about the patients that you do not give paracetamol to the child or do not take the adult paracetamol, because
Yes.
that is the best villain to cure. See, last COVID time, whatever complications have happened here is due to this paracetamol. I think it's so. So very difficult to cure a patient. See if that patient has taken paracetamol. That has happened here also.
Yes.
That is the obstruction. When you
Yes.
gave the natural salcilatum, that obstruction is removed.
Yes, yes. And then the remedy acted.
Then
And
then the correct remedy came there. Even
Yes.
though you gave phosphorus before, it won't act.
Yes.
Not doubt in that. I am
Yes,
sure about. So,
Yes, yes.
so we must instruct all the patients. You don't take paracetamol. Whether it is a lot of some medicines containing paracetamol are coming in the market.
Yeah. Agreed.
So that is the best villain. So humble request to my homeo doctors, don't instruct the patient to take paracetamol when temperature is coming up. Okay, I like to say this much. Okay, thank you very much. It is the professional skill you have done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. See, appreciating you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Exactly. This is what everybody should not, because usually most of the people allow patients to continue with paracetamol, but frankly, it is not a good thing. It will do more harm than good. And this is something everyone should remember. Everyone should. Then we will have to resort to our medicine in acute conditions so that we can manage with our medicine. It won't do any harm. As just like Dr. Hariharan, he is one of the most experienced person in this forum.
Yes, Dr. Dhanesh, I think by giving paracetamol, they make in COVID, they make that system is really allopathic. Because there is no relation between the medicine and the disease. Kill the germ, the cure disease in infectious is okay. Well, good. But what is the logic here? There is no relation between the drug and the disease. So giving paracetamol is exactly allopathic.
Yes, sir.
See, 1 minute. I like to say one thing. See, once in our platform, we discussed this thing. Do you remember, Mr. Dr. Manoj?
Sir, I would like to say something on our session. Then thereafter you can go, sir.
Okay.
Thereafter you can go, sir. As everybody know that we are about to celebrate our 1,000-day celebration within 16 days from now at Trivandrum. On June 1st, we will be having one of the best session going on. There is one world medical meetings about to be held there, and all preparations are hectic schedule is being prepared by our team, and there are a lot of things we are planning in connection with the sessions. One is the 30-day session from different part of the world, and already 6 sessions from different countries have happened here. And tomorrow we will have a session from Dubai. Some people, Dubai, there will be 2 sessions. I think tomorrow there will be 1 session, and on 16th also there will be another session, another edition coming out. And this is something to promote homeopathy in all parts of the world, and this is something to make people aware about that the homeopathy is doing wonderful thing in different parts of the world also. At Canada, Dr. Sadaf also is from Canada. I think it is on May 25th. I think it is fixed for Canada, and everybody is very happy to have such sessions, and we will be planting some homeopathic herbs all over the world during the session. Also, it is named after our beloved Latif sir. And there is another project going on. There is a demonstration of homeopathic herbs at the venue at Trivandrum on June 1st. And already we are taking videos from different parts of the world, also different highly respected personalities, as well as from homeopathic doctors. So Dr. Sadaf Uldf also can give a 2-minute video for us in appreciating our effort to promote homeopathy for the last 983 days. So this is going to be a big session. This is a big planning and big. We will be doing a lot of things in these days. So all of you should be there, and we have we are getting support from people from different parts of the world also. And there is only 3,000 rupees for participating in the session. Those who want to participate in the session can remit the fees on our treasurer's account, and then you can also register yourself through our Google form, which is given to all of you here. And thank you for listening all these things. And now it is up to Dr. Hariharan sir to say something on that on the subject, and you can say a lot of thanks to the session also, sir.
Okay, doctor. See, Dr. Manoj may be remembering that once we discussed this thing in our platform, that paracetamol is doing so very harm in our treatment. We discussed this thing, and see, after taking antibiotics or even cortisone, we can treat the patient. But after taking this paracetamol, it is very difficult to treat.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We discussed this thing in our platform.
Yes,
and
sir.
I asked this question to you also. Why it is so happening? I asked this thing to you also. So we didn't find out any answer for this. Now, what doctor said is the
Yes,
correct.
sir.
That is
Sir,
the answer.
Yes, sir. We can have a session on that.
Okay, doctor. Your observation, your treatment is appreciable. Come again with another subject. Okay, thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Dr. Sadaf. I think you can present another session in our Hindi platform, because Dr. Sandeep, Mr. Sandeep is really involved, have such wonderful persons to present sessions. The timing is 7 to 8 p.m. in Indian time, IST. With that, we come to the end of the session, and it is up to Dr. Manoj to continue the Malayalam session. Thank you.